Hi, my name is David Evans, and welcome to today's Minute in the Word. Psalm 79:13 says, "Then we thy people, the sheep of thy pasture, will give thee thanks forever. We will proclaim your praise to all generations." When you read the Psalms, you quickly notice that most of the Psalms focus on the need for a miracle. Each Psalm goes back and forth from a sincere call to God for a miracle and the joyful response of a miracle realized. However, is there another aspect of receiving a miracle? What happens after we receive a miracle? Do we quickly forget the impact of that miracle? Do we remember how desperate we were when we cried out to God and continue to live our lives as a response to that miracle? There was an old man who every week would walk along an abandoned pier on the seashore with a bucket filled with shrimp to feed the seagulls. Captain Eddie Rickenbacker, the World War I and World War II flying ace of the 94th Aero Squadron, did this every week until his death in 1973. What caused this famous aviator to pace the beach every week feeding the seagulls? In October 1942, Henry Stimson, the U.S. Secretary of War, sent Rickenbacker on a mission to review all of the air bases in the Pacific Theater to review living conditions and operations. He also was tasked to deliver personally a secret message to General Douglas MacArthur. After visiting sea bases in Hawaii, Rickenbacker boarded a B-17 Flying Fortress and set out off across the South Pacific. Due to navigational issues, they ended up hundreds of miles off course, and running out of fuel, they ditched the aircraft into a remote and sparsely traveled area of the South Pacific. For 24 days, Rickenbacker and the crewmen drifted in life rafts at sea. Within 3 days, the crew had run out of food and now were drifting with little hope. After 8 days, Rickenbacker tells how on a Sunday afternoon, after the men had prayed for salvation and had sung hymns of praise, he had pulled his hat over his head to try to get a few hours of fitful sleep when suddenly he felt something hit his head. To his amazement, a seagull had hit him on his head. Very carefully, he was able to reach out and grab it, and Eddie Rickenbacker skillfully divided the meat up and gave to each man equally. He also began to use the intestines and bones for fishing bait. That one seagull had fallen from the sky like manna in the desert. For 21 days, they lived on sporadic rainwater and fish that they were able to catch until they were rescued drifting at sea, all because of one seagull. And he never forgot it. That is why, every week until his death, Eddie Rickenbacker walked the beach feeding seagulls. By this simple act, he was expressing complete gratitude for the miracle that God had performed in his life years before. The end of Psalm 79 says, "Then we thy people, the sheep of thy pasture, will give thee thanks forever. We will proclaim your praise to all generations." When we receive a miracle, we must remember and express our gratitude by praising God. Captain Rickenbacker teaches us that not only should we praise God for the miracles in our lives by telling others what has happened, but to also praise God with our actions. When we remember the miracles that God has done for us and give back to His purpose, we not only bring glory to His name, but we contribute to His kingdom as well. This has been a Minute in the Word. Thank you so much for watching.